that was from Jayatirtha. This is actually the most complete report. Everything else is additional to this. And it's very, all the details. My dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my worthless obeisances at your divine lotus feet. I pray that by your divine mercy I will attain unquestioning faith in your instructions. It appears from all evidence of the revealed scriptures that it is in this way only my spiritual life will develop and mature. I have been in Hawaii now for 1 week, and I beg to issue the following report. This is dated December 22nd. 1. The history. I have been aware for some time that Sudama was having spiritual difficulties since in September he had flown to Los Angeles to see me. At that time he was on the verge of blooping due to an illicit homosexual affair with his servant that had been going on for some months. I preached to him and tried to encourage him as much as possible. A few days later...
Oh, he admitted that. Sudama.
Yeah. He also said later that he admitted that to you. Did he?
No. He said that
he had broken a principle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like that.
A few.
He is conscious of his sinful activity.
Yes. A few days later, I flew to Mayapur to see you in regard to Balimardarn, etc. And I had planned to visit Hawaii on the way back to Los Angeles to see how Sudama was doing. Unfortunately, Sudama was on the U.S. mainland, and when I landed in Hawaii, so I could not talk with him to see if his condition had improved. After returning to Los Angeles, I tried to contact him, but he proved to be very elusive. When I finally did get hold of him, he told me that he had just returned from Mayapur, that everything was all right with him, and that he admitted his homosexual affair to you, and that you had given him permission to work independently of the GBC.
He told me that also. He came to Japan on his way to Hawaii, and he told me that.
He came to Mayapur for this reason.
He said that you had told him that he only had...
He can't say anything. How did he believe it?
It wasn't my concern because I was only in Japan.
How others will believe it? He would say that we are supporting my homicide and
You can say anything.
Rascal, once one becomes rascal, he becomes more. So, I had no information, neither he admitted it. He simply felt that it is not yet finished, prepared, so if he comes, then I will have to arrange like this.
Yes.
No other thing. You are present here.
Yes.
That means he chose his plan to come here, that I have taken permission. Right?
This concerned me a great deal, and I discussed the matter with
This is
Tamal.
completely false. Rather, I told Brahmananda that cannot be. He cannot act independently. There is no such.
This concerned me a great deal, and I discussed the matter with Tamal Krishna Goswami, Jagadish, and
But
Hridayananda
how
Das.
this is another nonsense. How did you believe it? He came to me and he reported in his own way, and why you become so foolish that to believe it? Where is my written statement? He will tell according to his convenience, and how did he believe it? Without asking me, without my confirmation, now they become to concern Kamal Krishna. That first foolishness is, how did he believe it? Asking like that. How did you believe it? You did not ask me whether it is fact. Now you are reporting. And you began to consult among you.
This is in September.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the fun. He had no intelligence, and he is saying, but whether it is fact. He should have asked me that Sudama has told me like this, and whether it is fact. So without asking me, they began to answer. What does it mean?
So they consulted, they discussed the matter between themselves and
Now
concluded.
what is the matter? There is no subject matter as a concept. You see, this kind of unintelligent class of man we have in our society. So how is this big matter? They have no intelligence. So now we are discussing on the subject matter. What does it is, the subject matter to be discussed? They have no sense of how can I manage? He can, spoiling money. What can I do? How did he take his subject matter to be discussed? Where is the subject matter? Asking you, without asking me, how you took it as a subject matter for discussion. You know that he has gone astray, he can say so many lies, and I would support him. Homosexual.
Much of this could have been avoided if he would have.
Huh?
This could have been avoided, all of this stealing and mismanagement, if he would have been stopped in September when he first found
But how
out.
can I know?
He did
The
not.
GBC was there. He was GBC. Nobody informed me what is going on.
Jayatirtha says he knew.
Huh?
Jayatirtha said that he knew he was in difficulty, but he tried to stop and see him, but he was being elusive. He stopped in
He
Los
was
Angeles.
elusive to him, and what he said about seeing me, that was correct. You see. He knew that he is elusive, and still whatever he said, that I had seen Prabhupada and he has said like this, I believe. That is not elusive, that is correct. This class of intelligence, how they can. There is no common sense, then how can I believe this as step? I have taken him as elusive, and how can I take him that whatever he says is all right? And now let us contact. Let's see. It is very difficult. Where is the subject matter, now they will have to consult. What do you think?
I think he should have informed you.
At least he should be confirmed that yes, we saw, I said like this.
It should have been in writing. Without it in writing.
Last year, when I received one letter from Karandar, I came to you and asked you, did you write that?
Yes.
Because I was doubting. And it was fact that he had put in some of his own words there.
Then, what is that consult?
Well, he said they consulted, and we concluded that since you were going to come here in December, that we would leave things until you arrived.
Why you really think, okay, why do you not ask him? Did you Sudama said like this?
And that was 2 months. That was September, and he says since you were coming in December, then we'll leave it. So we suggested to Sudama that Kirtanananda Swami be allowed to come to Hawaii to see how things were going and to enliven the devotees. But Sudama...
I send Brahmananda. But I cannot go on this Bombay after you go. The things are not going nice there. And Brahmananda was advised, or I think we consented that Guru Kripa should be in charge.
Yes.
You know that?
That was
That's my advice. And then,
Sudama was adamant that no GBC man should come. After receiving Brahmananda Swami's telegram saying that still Sudama did not want you to come, I called Sudama and demanded an explanation. He claims that actually he did want you to come, but he was short of funds. I promised to help with the funds and he seemed satisfied. I then telegrammed Your Divine Grace that it was all right to come. 2 days later, Sudama called me in Portland and told me he was resigning the next day and that I should come immediately. I also received a call from one of the older brahmacharis here saying that the situation was very bad and all the temple leaders had resigned, including Sudama and Subal Swami, and that they were actively preaching to influence the devotees to move out of the temple and live independently. After hearing this, I immediately came and also invited Hridayananda Maharaj, who was in Los Angeles at the time, to come. Upon arrival, we immediately began to preach very strongly about the necessities of strictly following the instructions of the spiritual master. Those who were very sincere have stayed on, but about a dozen devotees left with Sudama. They are operating the restaurant that was given to the society by Alfred Ford, after having arranged legally to have the ownership transferred into their names.
so how Alfred was induced to transfer in their names?
Well, he explains that a little bit later, because I think there's this one boy named Atulananda who is Sudama's closest friend, one of his closest friends, and he's actually the person who is an old friend of Alfred Ford since childhood, and I think he's the one who's been doing all the negotiations.
Man become confidential devotee because they want to cheat. I think that. But
Number 2, what they are preaching. I cannot claim to fully understand what they are preaching, but I will try to explain it as best I can. First of all, they are outspokenly against ISKCON's leadership and are outspokenly against our tactics on Sankirtan book distribution, as well as what they claim are deplorable conditions in the temples. They agree that the basic principles of Krishna consciousness as taught by you are the first-class method, but that it is too much difficult to be followed by people in the West. Therefore, they think that since it is too difficult to follow strictly, that they should move out of the temple, get a job, etc. One of them, Jamadagni Das, who is their leader, told one of our brahmacharinis, "If you are having a hard time in the temple, you should move outside, get a boyfriend, go to the movies, etc."
the thing is, that now this attitude is, Bodhimardhan is also there. They want relaxation, flexibility.
Flexibility.
That means that spiritually fallen down. Then what else?
The most disturbing thing they are saying is that your grace is perfect spiritually, but not materially. That is to say that you know Krishna.
The perfect spiritually means material rejected.
Yeah. That is to say that you know Krishna, that you may not know how best to engage each person, that you can't see everyone in all places and time, and that therefore so many discrepancies exist within the ISKCON structure, that the structure and its leadership cannot be at all trusted, and that it therefore provides no shelter. Of course, they still claim to be your disciples, but they admit they cannot follow your instructions.
How can I decide? I accept your spiritual, but I cannot follow your instructions. That means this GVC is very low. I wanted to, the GVC. They are themselves falling victim. Not very encouraging. This British was meant for vigilance. But as everything is going on nicely according to the instruction, they themselves follow them. Then
Sudama, for example, is planning on starting a dance troupe. When asked what he would do if your Divine Grace asked him to do something else instead, he said, "I would have to do it anyway." In summary, it seems to me at least that they are minimizing the value of the spiritual master's instructions, and at the same time, when we attack them on that same point, they deny it and claim rather that we are just fanatics, impersonal, etc. Actually, we have tried to be nice to them, but at the same time we have tried to keep the philosophical points clear so that the devotees will not become bewildered.
Yes.
Number 3, the land situation. Of course, we are living on the land and the deities are installed. We have been making your quarters ready and I hope you will be pleased with them. The land is completely paid off by Alfred Ford and he will also pay all property taxes. He had offered to lease us the land for $1 per year and at the same time to turn over 1/3 ownership yearly to Ishkan until it was completely in our name.
Let it be done in writing.
Yes. I'll just go on reading it. He requests that he had to do this rather than give it outright for tax reasons. The problem is that Alfred Ford's main contact with Ishkan has been through Atulananda Das, Alfred's lifetime friend. But now Atulananda has gone with Sudama, and Sudama has told me that you do not want the property in Ishkan's name.
Yes. Whatever he says, it is all right. Then, who's name?
Well, Sudama also reports that Alfred is not pleased with Ishkan, does not trust Ishkan, etc. Also, on several occasions, they have made veiled threats, like, "We can have you all thrown off the property in a minute." They're saying, Sudama and his men are saying to the devotees, "We can have you all thrown off this property in a minute." Because they have the connection with Alfred Ford.
So he's creating some impression of his thought. That was his policy, so that the property can be given in his name and he has taken the rest to it. That was his plan. Therefore he did not like that I should go.
Yes.
That was or any judiciary program. That is the whole plan.
He goes on to say that at any rate, it seems difficult to put too much into developing the property unless we have some assurance, one way or other, that Alfred Ford will not ask us to leave. The land is the absolute manifestation of paradise, so it will be very nice if it can be kept.
Right. One letter to Alfred, that this is the position. Or shall I like to remember?
If you don't write to him, then it'll only be Sudama speaking with him.
He may get them to change it over very easily.
If you don't write to him, then Sudama will be the only one that will influence him.
So, write to him that Sudama has left our camp. He has nothing to do with his cause. He has nothing to do with right. He has his own plan. So under the circumstances, I want to see you. What shall I write? He may poison him.
It looks as if they've already poisoned him some, because according to Sudama, he doesn't trust Ishkan. He is not pleased with Ishkan. But I think he's definitely submissive to yourself.
So I can see him, let's see, updated as Srila. This sex, if there really is sex, I still know. This is such a certain a good boy. Similarly, Gautama is killed by this illicit sex. Everyone will be killed with the illicit. That is the meaning of karma. What can I do? I have already given the instruction. And they do not follow, they follow. That is so dangerous. And in our society, it is very easy to have an so many girls as well. I can say, don't do this, but if you do, so there it is.
Sudama has left our camp. He has his own plans, so under the circumstances,
Their own camp, and he has violated our rules and regulations and fallen down. Under the circumstances, don't be influenced by him unless you see him. You get what?
Unless he sees you?
Yeah. So I am coming very soon in Hawaii. I am very much busy in Bombay for some business. Everyone is doing. Governor has done so. Oh, I trust it so much. This is the poison, illicit sex. And this poison will kill everything. This is poison. And I cannot understand whether I shall be able to save my disciple from this poison. This is the poison. They do not take it seriously, but in the beginning I said, no illicit sex, if you want at all. These four principles, if they are not strictly followed, then he is victim of it. So therefore, if you take little time, one is trying to save himself artificially, that will not save him. He will fall down. Krishna can excuse for some time, but it is not to be excused. Apiteshu Gunachara, he is unconsciously or some accident thing, something done. That is excused. But purposefully, the Lord has killed down. Budhivardhan failed, Karanda failed, Sudava failed. Gradually they are falling down. What can we do? I say that you shall remain fixed in this way, but if you do not accept it, then how can I accept it? If I say that don't fly your knife on your neck, and if you do it, how can I say it?
I think that there's no Sankirtan.
Huh?
If you get too much business and no Sankirtan, then they forget.
Oh, why too much business? This size cannot be business.
That is the case of all the devotees that have fallen. They have stopped doing Sankirtan and just strictly business. And then they forget. I know myself, if I don't do some Sankirtan every day, I easily become agitated. But if I can do 2 or...
That is outside wise, but if you don't do it, the 16 hours must be complete. That is not something.
Myself, I need more than...
More than anyone. This is the every letter, every time, this strength. That he must finish 16 hours.
Yeah.
That is real something. At least 16. But if you do not follow, then how you can be saved? Say without Sankirtan, but this is stressed in every letter.
Yes. You stress, but they do not do it.
Exactly. If they do not follow, then it is that one thing important. Then how you can be saved? You are fallen, I say, catch this rope, I'll take it. Take it out. And if you do not catch, then what is it?
Well, the next report is the restaurant. The restaurant was purchased with a $12,000 donation from Alfred Ford and was fixed up with a $2,000 loan from Peter Burwash, a local life member. Last month, Sudama arranged legally to have the restaurant transferred into the joint ownership of Sudama, Tarun Kanti, Atulananda, and Peter Burwash. Sudama's claim was that Alfred Ford had meant the $12,000 as a loan and not as a donation, and that he did not trust that Ishkan would ever pay it back, but apparently that he did trust that Sudama would pay it back. Sudama also managed to transfer ownership of several of the temple vehicles to his name, and in addition he took with him...
So why not take criminal charges against him? Prosecution. But that will be another story. That is also not
It's very
right.
difficult. Very difficult.
That is because every member is trusted with some money, everything.
It says...
He has not found that Palika.
She is here.
Huh?
She is here.
There. I called him. So, you have begun cooking?
Yes.
So I wanted ordinary rice. So you have begun khichdi?
Yes.
No. So what is the use of hearing? I can't now understand. Everything. He has planned. It is a plan. That have you read the whole thing?
No, there's a
Read it.
little bit more. He says that he took the large bus which was being used for traveling Sankirtan. He plans to sell this bus, which is worth about $6,000 or $7,000, and invest the proceeds in getting his thing together. He claims that the bus was purchased with a personal donation from Alfred Ford, but I have been unable to either prove or disprove that statement. But at any rate, it seems that they are using Alfred Ford's devotion to you for their own personal benefit. We'll send it out today. 5. The temple financial situation. Sudama has left us about $30,000 in debt and with no substantial assets. We have one broken down 1960 Volkswagen, one broken down truck, and not a penny in the bank. The Sankirtan party was practically non-existent. Daily collections were under $50, and only 2 or 3 men were going out for a couple hours per day. They had been preaching to the book distributors that what they were doing was not...
One thing is that why they are reporting, what steps they have taken. The GBC's men constantly reporting to me big report.
His 2 steps was that I should go and pay the bill.
Yeah, so you go immediately. And you know the situation and do it possible you take him and shoot against him.
Yes, but the $30,000, that money, he expects me to collect that money and pay that, which is your money. Because I have the money for Mayapur. Instead of giving it to Mayapur, we pay these bills.
So this is the basic report. But then these other letters go into the... See, this is Jayatirtha before he's even seen Brahmananda. This is before Brahmananda has arrived.
So, what I shall do by hearing the report. The GBC allow them to do whatever, there is no restriction. There is no inspection. There is only what is the use of GBC. You are doing all these things planned and the GBC could not understand. So what can I do since you are here? Huh? So go and such a churches. One Chaitanya, Gausanga was not so much rich. He is a gross riches. Gausanga, he took money, he sent some money to us. Now he paid everything. He has taken all the money from Gausanga. He is a great Chaitanya. Oh, what do you think? What do you do now?
Well, the only thing to do is that if Alfred Ford wants the land back, then we'll have to find another place and simply pick up from where he left off.
No, Alfred, unless he's spoiled, he's not doing it.
No, but if he doesn't want it, we can remain there and have the plans for the temple. If he does want it, then we have to move.
Yes.
But in the meantime, the devotees...
That means he may not be poisoned, so I'll have to go. In the meantime, you go. When is your ultimate time?
I'm leaving tomorrow at 6 o'clock
That's all right.
in the morning.
What are other points?
Well, that was just about it, other than that the financial situation is very bad. And he says the only place they can do book distribution there is on Waikiki Beach. And there's already about half a dozen semi-bloop devotees doing Sankirtan there to maintain themselves, including Balamardan's wife. Well, but they say that the Sankirtan there is very difficult. The only place they can do it is Waikiki Beach.
I think that's a fact. It's not a good place for collecting at all. There's the rich people, they have shopping places, but the police are very, because they're rich. And this is the only place, and that is not so good.
But he says, at any rate,
Sudama used to have some men in America sending him money. They would stay on the mainland, do Sankirtan, and send the money back to Hawaii. He was doing that.
But he seems to think that, he says, at any rate, I'm confident that we'll be able to maintain the temple and extinguish the debt.
How was that?
I don't know.
$30,000?
Doesn't make sense.
Then what else?
So he says, number 6 is new management. I have brought one of the best men in my zone here to help manage affairs. His name is Ananda Vardhana Das Adhikari. He's intelligent, regulated, and sincere, and has good experience in management of our Denver temple. Denver has been by far the best managed temple in the western zone, as I have several times reported to you, and Ananda Vardhan, as the number 2 man there, was very instrumental in bringing it up to that standard. In addition, I am bringing Mahatma Das from Vancouver, former president, to act as number 2 man. He is also very enthusiastic and intelligent, and is a very good book distributor. I feel confident that between the 2 of them, the management of this temple will go on well. I know from Bhagavan that your Divine Grace has suggested that perhaps Guru Kripa Swami could come here. My personal feeling is that it might be valuable for him to come here for some time and preach, but that they would probably not want to stay on permanently to maintain the center. Also, Sankirtan could never be as lucrative as Tokyo, and this important source of revenue for the Mayapur Vrindavan Trust would be stopped. Of course, if your Divine Grace decides that they should definitely come, I will work with them very happily. I personally have great respect for them, and I feel them to be very well qualified.
That's how that is. Right. Now, what you think is good?
We can go. I have...
And help them for some time.
Yes.
Then
But the question...
You know that collection is not possible there.
Yes, not much.
So let them do that. You can go to South America.
So Hridayananda should be written a letter and asked to cooperate.
Yes. But what else?
Number 7 is danger to the society. I'm a little bit worried about this turn of events because it appears to my mundane vision that it may prestage an actual philosophical division amongst your disciples. In reading your Chaitanya Charitamrita chapter 12 in reference to the followers of Advaita Acharya and how some followers gradually developed their own opinion of devotional service, which was different from the instructions of their guru but still claimed to be followers, I think I have perceived some parallels in the present situation. At the same time, it appears that things are ripe for such a split, especially after so many signs of corruption amongst the society's leaders have recently come to light, thus providing a good excuse for those who want to work outside the authority structure of the society to do so. I am actually fearful that this anti-ISKCON party feeling may spread widely in the society, although I realize that the best defense to this will be to
this can be counteracted if we remain sincere and follow the spiritual master. Nobody can harm you. But if you are not so strong, then they will. But if you stick to your position, as I have advised, they will disappear.
This was like Siddhar Sarup.
Yeah.
It just kind of fell apart after a while.
He could not deal with it. Motion, they don't look at it. That is not. If we stick to our principle, then it will work.
Then he has one request at the end. Your Divine Grace has for several years spent most of the time in India. At the same time, so much nonsense has happened in the society. So many big leaders have fallen down, etc. Of course, at the same time, so many aspects of our movement have progressed nicely. I think, however, that your presence in the West will counteract all of this bad influence. I sincerely think, therefore, that if you can come and stay in Hawaii for a good part of the next year, that all of the poison in the society can be removed.
I'm going. You go. I shall remain for the man. And we shall do visit. I'm going. So I'm simply waiting. I have arranged for visiting the governor for this purpose. But there is also a big fleet. The secretaries, they are not arranging it. Everywhere. Then
He says that if you come,
that is the remedy. So I shall have to go to Hawaii immediately as soon as possible. If you go, I am trying to go. Simply, I'm waiting this governor's meeting. As soon as it is done, I shall go.
Should I go to Tokyo and wait for you there and then go with you to Hawaii? Or should I go all the way to Hawaii? There are some things I have to settle up in Tokyo.
More, settle up more.
I should wait for you in Tokyo?
That I shall let you know this evening.
Okay. Or you can just pass Tokyo up?
Yes.
Because I will
have to pass, because I cannot go directly.
But I'm saying you cannot get off the plane. My plan is to remove most of the men from Tokyo now. Because New Year's is the cold season. And they can go to Hawaii. And if you stop in Tokyo, there will be only 2 or 3 people there.
That's why I went to stop for one night or one day.
Okay.
That is not very good.
they have daily flights between Hong Kong and Tokyo, Honolulu. So one night.
So that definitely I shall let you know this evening. So what is it?
One point that comes out here is that this was dated December 22nd, and he says that he's fearing this that Alfred Ford might be poisoned in it. It may be happening right now. So probably the sooner that Guru Kripa Maharaj goes there.
Yes. So where is Alfred?
Even if we write a letter, it may be.
So you can take my letter and see that he is coming. Only sorry.
Where is Alfred Ford?
Well, the last time he wrote us, he was in Wyoming. He lives in Wyoming. But he was going to meet you there in Hawaii. So he may be there, because they are expecting Prabhupada.
Not now.
No, they are expecting.
Not now.
Really?
I was in Tokyo, and when Brahmananda came, he said that you were not even coming to Hawaii or Tokyo. You were going to Australia.
No, but that Australia, Australia, I was to go from Hawaii.
But he did not say that. He did not tell me that.
Plan. Oh, yes.
Yeah, our plan was to go to Australia.
Directly from here. So that plan is changed.
Yeah, so they do not have any idea that you are coming.
Well, we wrote one letter afterwards to Jayatirtha saying, Prabhupada said that I may be coming in 2 weeks. That was about 2 weeks ago.
So I didn't like that. What?
So we'll send a letter with Now that was the 22nd. Now the next day, Brahmananda Swami came. That was the 23rd that he came. And then he writes all the major background is here, so he just gives his basic.
That is the background.
Yeah, and then this is
repeats.
No, he gives the after studying the situation and also all the background that is already presented, he gives his.
What is that?
After studying the situation in Hawaii, we have one major concern. That is that this property is currently held in the name of Alfred Ford, and Alfred has been told by Sudama that your divine grace does not want it placed in the society's name. Furthermore, because Atulananda Das is Alfred's closest friend within the society, and now Ananda...
He told me that when he came to Japan. He said that you did not want that property.
Brahmananda said that?
No.
Sudama.
Sudama said
He can say so many things. Why you rascals believe it? That is my point.
Well, wasn't my business.
Everyone is quoting Sudama said. And why do you fear me?
He was telling Jayatirtha is the GBC. He also told
Where
him.
is mine in writing?
Something that important has to be in writing.
Just see, he's telling. Why one should believe so confidently Sudama, neglecting me and asking me, what can I do? Sudama will speak in my name, so many rascals. But why other rascals will believe him? Then what can I do? Then, what does he suggest?
Well, It seems that the property, he says, it seems the property should be secured legally before plans for developing the
Why
land.
don't you do it? Why don't you meet him?
Well, he next suggests that originally that plan was that every year he would donate one-third.
That's all.
He says at the end of the 3 years the society would own the land outright. He cannot give it all at once
So why
because...
don't you do it? What is the use of writing me?
Oh, here it is. He says, our suggestion, therefore, if it pleases your Divine Grace, is that your Divine Grace may issue one letter to Alfred asking him to please carry out his original plans to put the land in the society's name.
No, that's right.
In other words, it seems like they can't do anything from their end. It's either this boy Atulananda and Sudama influencing
But
him, or...
how Alfred will be so foolish that he has decided to see 3 years, and how Sudama will induce him to do it immediately in his name.
No, I don't think he means immediately, but to the same program, only turning it over to our name, or the other Atulananda's name.
Huh?
It appears that not that he's going to give it outright. He can't do that because of tax reasons. But he would do the same thing, 1/3 per year, to Atulananda instead of Ishkan.
He gives his power explanation.
That's the danger. Brahmananda says that he seems to be very devoted to you, and that we feel that he would definitely respond to your request. If you tell him not to...
Yes, that I am writing.
Yeah. So his...
You write that letter very nicely, send it.
Yes.
And what else?
He just reports that Guru Kripa has agreed to take responsibility to finance the construction.
So, everyone is ready. Now Guru Kripa is good thing that he be able to manage. That's Now you work for some time, then go.
I will go. The thing is this, the two men that Jayatirtha has sent, I know one of those, Mahatma, he's a good man. He can be president, but after the difficulty is straightened out, he would keep things going.
Anything else?
Well, he just gives a report on Sudama and Subal. He says that he gave them your message, that they should go out and preach, like Vishnujan and Tamal Krishna. And he said they're presently unwilling to give up their craziness to go and preach as you have requested them to do. Subal is growing a beard on his face and is working as a busboy in the restaurant, and the rest of his time is spent in stringing seashells to sell his necklaces.
He is going where?
Yes.
No, that's not right. Then anything else?
He suggests that Guru people also take responsibility for Hong Kong.
That Guru Kripa will take whatever I say. That is not easy.
And he also suggests that Chitsukananda could go to Hong Kong, help manage there. He says that he could work very nicely with those people.
Chitsukananda is not sticking to any one place.
No, he is very back and forth. He changes his mind
Very soon.
every 2 minutes. He's a good man. If he's
He wrote a letter on the next day. So here he says that he's received a report. They've been trying to preach to these devotees that left with Subal and Sudama. Brahmananda says he was preaching to them. And he says he's clearing up some of the misconceptions, and already 2 of them have come back. And they say that that other group, Subal and Sudama and the others, are breaking all the principles. He says they're taking drugs and having illicit sex, everything. So Brahmananda...
That is easy. They are not sexually desire. Everyone is desire. All cannot control. Then there is like all, there is everything in the country. Even they will not stick married life. they are accustomed to break this law, and it is very difficult for them. Their fathers, they are done so, or they are done so. Every year twice divorce, twice. This is the response. They are giving the formula, they are doing prolonged therapy.
Apparently, Brahmananda still, when he wrote these letters, he didn't know that Australia was cancelled.
Oh, now he has to know?
He must know now, because the letter was sent, our letter at Udas, nothing really though, just, he says that Jayatirtha is immediately telling Guru Das to go to Vrindavan. He should go there without delay. But I don't know where he got that order. It doesn't sound. And he says Vajraj is doing very well in LA. He has 10 assistants making dolls. And Vaidanandan Swami is there doing college engagements.
Last Sunday?
I don't think so. I think he's in Laguna Beach. Bali Mardan is here in Honolulu, and I will try to contact him and request him to come with me to Australia at the end of the month to join you. He is with his wife. Subal Swami came here to the Sunday feast, but before I could speak with him, he left. He looks terrible. I do not know what the Fiji situation is.
Who?
This Srila. Yes. Tua. He fights.
Always.
He will not be able to stay with Srila. He will fight.
No, actually Sudama, when he was here in Mayapur, he said that he and Subal got in some very extreme fights.
Subal fights with everyone.
Huh?
Subal fights with everyone.
Everyone. He cannot remain there. He is not unscrupulous.
He'll have to have his own movement. It's only him.
Also, he is there in Tokyo still, and I suggested to him, I was talking yesterday to Tokyo, that you suggested that he should go to Spain and work with Bhagawan. And for, I don't know, but for some reason he did not readily take the idea.
He wants to work independently.
Yes.
He doesn't want to be supervised by anyone. That is another. And our whole program is surrender. And these Western mind, they do not want to surrender to anyone. That's how, isn't it?
It's true.
There is no question of surrender. They have surrendered to some extent. To me, that is wonderful. Otherwise, there is no question of surrender. And our business is surrender. Unless you surrender fully, there is no problem. Contrary. Anyway, let us pray to Krishna. Any other important letter?
Well, this is the latest letter from Brahmananda on the 27th, where he met Bali Mardan. He said he came to the temple and we had a talk. His present plans are to get some hotel training for the next few months and then go to Japan.
Hotel training.
Hotel training. I don't understand.
He wants to open a hotel.
Not in Japan.
Huh?
It is too expensive there. You must be a millionaire to open anything there. It is so costly.
Maybe he is Maharaj.
Her millions are useless to us. He's not giving them.
No, he is prepared. I know. But he was the He has given.
Yes.
Whenever I wanted money, he will give. Never mind where from his job, but he gives. Practically he helps purchasing. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Recently when he came, he gave me 120,000.
20,000.
12,000, yeah. I do not know where from. That I cannot know. Therefore I say that he is good soul. He has been qualified by you. This I accept. And his wife is very, very intelligent. She knows how to earn money. Extraordinary intelligent. And she knows how to earn money. If he likes, he can independently earn money. Many thousands. That also I know. So if they can be corrected, they can be utilized to stay. There is no question of rejection. They are able to do something. Yes.